Hundreds of Bahamians take Bay Street as We March Bahamas begins.
We March Bahamas sends a strong message to the government during its Black Friday protest. We have the details straight ahead.
A man is shot and killed in a shootout with police. A Bahamian gets a shot at an international singing competition.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina McNeil. Topping news tonight, the highly anticipated Black Friday march and protest did not disappoint this afternoon as hundreds of people marched from Arawak Key to Rawson Square to show just how dissatisfied they are with what's happening in the country. We have team coverage tonight. Our Jasmine was in the crowd at Rawson Square today and has this report. Jasmine?
That's right, Christina. Those protesters made their way down Bay Street this afternoon, drawing the attention of dozens of onlookers.
And it was with that chant that those protesters entered Rawson Square just after 1 this afternoon, carrying placards that clearly demonstrated their frustrations. Some of them said they were marching for change for themselves and future generations of Bahamians.
I'm tired. I said my children are talking about leaving the country to go away to live because they came back from school with an education and they can't find the job that they want. Sad. Sad. I's a real Bahamian. You all know I's a Dean, so you know I's a real Bahamian, right? Until these representatives them stop joking around, man. See what I said? I need my money, and I need it now.
The event, which has been well circulated in social media, was organized by community activist RANARD, HENFIELD, and others. Their aim was to bring to the attention to the nation's leaders various concerns, including what they view as the government's lack of transparency and accountability. Those who marched today say they believe they got their message across.
Do you think with this large crowd here, the government is finally getting the message?
I just hope they give it, I hope they get the message and they give it to us because we do really need it and we work hard.
Are you encouraged by the amount of people you see here today?
Yes, ma'am. I'm very much encouraged.
We now understand that we need to put our leaders in the forefront and we need to hold them accountable and say we have a voice and we need our voices to be heard. And so I'm very encouraged by all of these people that I see here, the unions, and I'm a part of the teachers union as well. And we also need to put our Bahamian teachers first.
Now, in addition to the large crowd, police were also out in full force to help manage the hundreds of protesters. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Jasmine. Well, before protesters made it to Rawson Square this afternoon, hundreds of participants gathered at Arawak Key this morning in preparation for the march. Our Simone Davis was at Arawak Key and spoke to event coordinators. Here's her report.
That's right, Christina. We're here at Arawak Key where protesters are gathered preparing for a peaceful demonstration for what they call a number of pressing issues facing the nation.
The purpose is I'm trying to inspire the Bahamian people to stand up for themselves. To every administration, PLP, FNM, DNA, whoever it may be, to say we as a people want better, we deserve better, and we're tired of empty promises. And as a matter of fact, we are prepared to lay out the way forward that we want. So we no longer want a political agenda. We want an agenda that's in the interest of the Bahamian people.
Former Free National Movement Senator John Bostwick supported the cause, calling it a love fest.
This is a love fest. You know, I'm seeing members of the cabinet, old friends, stepping up right now. My old college roommate, what's happening, Minister Dorset. So it's like I say, public-private partnership in the truest form. The Bahamas has come together. The Bahamas is united. Here's another former unionist.
Yeah, we all Bahamians. We all Bahamians.
All Bahamians, united in love and unity.
However, not everyone was feeling the love from the government. Hundreds of protesters gathered at Arawak Key with placards expressing their concerns. Danver Dame said he's protesting because it has been nearly impossible for him to acquire crowned land in his own country. He said there are too many challenges Bahamians are faced with, and the government isn't making it any easier. Dame said his only message is enough is enough.
I'm a retired senior civil servant of 40 years in government. I applied for government crown land. I can't get none. But every Tom, Dick, and Harry could get government crown land. Here it is. In the Bahamas, I was born in Andros. I was in my neighbor Stringberry.
I would say to the Prime Minister I love, and I pray for him every night. I pray for Perry Gostin Christie every single night and his government. Every one of his cabinet ministers, the Bible told us to pray for those that are in authority. I pray for Mr. Christie every night and his cabinet. But one thing I'm praying for now, I think the time has come for him to go.
Vice President of the Bahamas Commercial Fishing Alliance said he's protesting to protect the fishing industry in the country.
When we heard about the Chinese, it was I take it a different level. But I don't think the government that's stupid to bring Chinese in this country. But I really hear. But the Dominicans, those ones that are here now on the Bahamian fishing boats that married for convenience, we talk about this to the government officials all the time. Nobody even tried to investigate them. They come in Saturday married, Monday they got these spousal permits, and they out there fishing and breaking every law in our country, and nobody's doing anything about it.
And this young protester said he's simply protesting for his future.
I'm out here for my future because when I'm older, so it can become a better future for my kids too.
Now this group will be marching from Arawak Key down to Rawson Square, where they'll join an even bigger group to help get their message across. Our Giorgio Stirrup is down there, and she spoke with several politicians who participated in the march. Giorgio?
That's right. The turnout here as they leave Arawak Key was amazing, according to politicians who say they're not here to support any political end, but here to support Bahamians.
Minister of Labor and longtime Labor Movement supporter Shane Gibson says he was happy to sign the petition and to be a part of the We March Bahamas Black Friday March because what Bahamian doesn't want a better country?
I saw the petition that they had. The petition spoke to, the one that I signed, spoke to reducing taxation on the people, providing crown land for Bahamians, reducing crime. They speak about change. And so obviously, I mean, which Bahamian wouldn't want that?
Free National Movement candidate for Montague, Dionisio D'Aguilar, says the movement was a sign that Bahamians are simply fed up with the injustice of society. He was joined by FNM leader Dr. HUBERT MINNIS, who said the issues are not centered around any particular government, but all decision makers.
I'm out here today with my 82-year-old mother to tell everybody we've had enough of the way the country is going. And we're very disappointed with the lack of inaction, the increase in poverty, the lack of growth in our economy, just the general direction of our country.
I came out to support the people. The people are requesting transparency, accountability, and honesty in governments, plural. Not government, governments, plural. And I'm a part of the people. That's all we ask for, transparency, accountability in all governments.
Leader of the Democratic National Alliance, Branville McCartney, says he has been pushing for the unification of Bahamians for years now, and he is proud that they are finally standing up for themselves.
We need a better country. Country's in a mess. The government has not been truthful to the Bahamian people, and it's certainly time for a change. We cannot trust the PLP, and I'm here in support of the people of this country.
Minister of Education Jerome Fitzgerald came out to support but defended himself and his ministry as persons called for improvements to the educational system. Fitzgerald said the past 4 years is the best that the system has been.
These plans have been there, and people have either, one, decided not to get involved in participating, including those who invited to participate in the National Development Plan and refused to, those who have not even been interested in looking at the National Education Plan that was put together by a group and a cross-section of political parties and education professionals, but you don't want to look at that, and then you want to say the system needs reform. And over the past 4.5 years, this is the most reform we've had in our education system in the past 40 years.
Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Stirrup.
Thanks, Giorgio. Well, Prime Minister Perry Christie last night extending an olive branch to organizers of March Bahamas in what may have been a little too late. According to a statement issued yesterday evening, the Prime Minister invited members of the organizing group to a meeting at his office for what he described as a serious and mutually respectful dialogue on improving the lives of Bahamians. Christie was responding to a letter from the organizers of We March Bahamas dated November 22nd. In his response, Christie not only gave an overview of some of the things his administration is doing to address crime, the economy, and unemployment, but he also invited protest organizers to attend a presentation of the preliminary first draft of the Bahamas Development Plan. Christie noted that while successive governments have made important gains in advancing the country, there's still enormously challenging work that lies ahead. Still to come on our news, a man is gunned down in a deadly exchange with police. The leader of the opposition speaks up on failed government promises, and a Bahamian singer gets a shot in an international competition. That's coming up when our news returns.